This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, January the 28th, was a former NBA legend who was known as a swingman. By definition, a swingman is an athlete capable of playing multiple positions. He was an all-star, named to the all-defensive team twice, winning 4 NBA titles with the Golden State Warriors, and was the MVP in 2015, shocking a lot of people. Based on his defense about LeBron James. He went to the 2012 Olympics with the U.S. and won. And he was a pretty decent player. All that. He's the acting executive director of the NBA Players Association. His name is Andre Iguodala, who's now 40 years old. 6'6", 215. Iguodala was born in Springfield, Illinois. His mother is African American and his father is Nigerian. Iguodala, of course, would grow up to root for the Chicago Bulls, being in the Illinois area. Anyhow, he went to Illinois, Springfield, Illinois. It was a parade All-American second team. He was a 4-star recruit. He initially signed a letter of intent to play at Arkansas? Really? So Andre Iguodala could have been an Arkansas Razorback? That would have been a dream pairing. Regardless. Iguodala was enticed by Arkansas's 1-3 system, which would let Iguodala run the point occasionally. However, after Nolan Richardson was fired, Iguodala decided to go to Arizona. He would join future NBA players such as Channing Frye, Luke Walton, Hassan Adams, and Salim Stoudemire on that team. So it would be huge. He got to the Pac-10 all-freshman team, Iguodala did. As a sophomore, he was the team's MVP. And his freshman year, Kansas took care of Arizona in the Elite Eight, and Arizona lost in the first round to Seton Hall in his sophomore year, which was kind of disappointing. So, anyway, Andre Iguodala looked like he was going to be a very fantastic player. And he was. In the 2004 draft, Iguodala declared and was drafted 9th overall, the second shooting forward, after Luol Deng went to Phoenix. But then his trade rights went to Chicago. The Raptors had a chance to draft Iguodala, but decided to go with center Rafael Araujo from BYU. A giant mistake. Philly, the next pick, number 9, took him. And it was huge. Dick Vitale said that it was a mistake for the Sixers to take him. Said that Iguodala is not a good shooter from the college three-point line. However, Iguodala used this as motivation and started all 82 regular season games, being the only Sixer to do so. The Arizona AI, as in Iguodala, would take passes from the Georgetown AI, aka Allen Iverson. So there were 2 AIs on that team and all that. He would be 4th in Rookie of the Year, Iguodala, and in sophomore, he played in all 82 games. He took part in the slam dunk contest and figured he won, but Nate Robinson somehow won. A lot of people were mad because Robinson missed 14 straight dunk attempts before succeeding on his last. So that was kind of controversial. Like, I understand all that. Iguodala became a team leader for the Sixers once Allen Iverson was traded to Denver and Chris Webber was done for. The Sixers were 9-26 at the time of Webber's release. However, Iguodala helped Philly out. In the last 47 games, they won 26 games. So he did a decent job. Iguodala reportedly in 2008 after the season got a 6-year, $80 million contract, which was pretty impressive. Iguodala was huge and all that. And Allen Iverson came back to play with AI again for this AI in 2010, but for only 1 year. So the Sixers were trying their best and all that. Iguodala tried everything but he couldn't really do anything. He got to the All-Star game in the 2012 season, and Iguodala did help Philly near the end of the year clinch the final seed in the playoffs, and then somehow, in some way, him and his Sixers actually shocked the world by taking out the number 1 seed Chicago Bulls. Of course, that's the funny thing, because that's the team he grew up watching as a youngster. It was the first time in 9 years Philly won a playoff series, and, wow, a lot of people said that 8-1 final matchup was only because Derrick Rose injured himself. Regardless, the Sixers took the Celtics to Game 7 of the second round but lost. Iguodala was then traded to Denver as the Sixers, Lakers, and Magic would be in a 3-team move. Dwight Howard and Andrew Bynum were also dealt away. Dwight Howard to the Lakers and Andrew Bynum to the Nuggets, to the Sixers, I think. Yeah. So Denver, Philly, Lakers, and Orlando made a lot of deals. Iguodala, strange as it sounded, his first game in Denver was against his former team, the Sixers, and put up 11 points in the loss, getting a mixed response from the crowd. The Nuggets would win 57 games, but somehow Golden State shocked them in the first round. Anyway, Iguodala was given a 5-year deal with Denver, but he declined it and decided to sign 4 years with the Warriors. So, if you can't beat them, join them. Because, remember, the Warriors beat the Nuggets in the playoffs. So, Iguodala played 1 year for Denver. That's it. So, it would be officially a 3-team signing deal with Denver and Utah also getting involved. Regardless, he made a key buzzer beater against Oklahoma City, getting an impact pass from Klay Thompson and then shooting over Oklahoma City's Fabulous Sefolosha. Iguodala was named to the NBA Defensive First Team, and then in 2015, Iguodala was a starter but was moved to the 6-man position so that Harrison Barnes could get some time. Iguodala had never entered a game as a reserve, and he played 800 plus games. That's very huge. Regardless of that, him and his Warriors went to the 2015 NBA Finals against Cleveland, and he was a great defender against LeBron. Iguodala made the start in Game 4 of the Finals with Andrew Bogut out. But he put up 4 3-pointers and 22 points, and it was huge and all that. The Warriors would win the series in 6, and Iguodala was named Finals MVP, becoming the first player ever to do so without starting a game during the regular season. And he was actually the first MVP as well to not start every game in the Finals. But, the defense was there. The defense had to be there because LeBron James was a 44% shooter when Iguodala was not in the lineup. However, when Iguodala was on the floor, James could only make 38% of his shots. In 2016, the Warriors with their 73 wins, most in NBA history still to this day. Iguodala was actually runner-up for the 6th Man of the Year award in 2016. Iguodala was decent. Unfortunately, though, the 2016 final would be remembered for a few things. Number one, Golden State blowing a 3-1 series lead to the Cavs and losing Game 7. And in said Game 7, Iguodala went for a layup, but somehow LeBron James came from behind and blocked the shot. It was a chase down block, which helped Kyrie Irving hit a major 3-pointer in Cleveland winning the series. and Iguodala probably had a lot of reason to come back. Fortunately, though, for him and his Warriors, they did get revenge in 2017. They started the playoffs 12-0, becoming the first team to do so. Not even the faux 1983 Sixers, when Moses Malone thought he would be 12-0, but it was 12-1. Did so. Iguodala was a key bench player, guarding LeBron, and put up 20 points in Game 5, helping the Warriors win that game and the final. There were a lot of teams that wanted Iguodala: the Lakers, the Spurs, the Kings, and the Rockets. Somehow, he decides to sign with Golden State again on a 3-year, $48 million contract, $16 million a year. Iguodala got his 1,000th regular season game and actually missed the first few games of the NBA Finals due to a left leg contusion. But still, the Warriors swept the Cavs. In 2019, he got to the finals again. Of course, this was the series against the Raptors, and Iguodala put up a clutch shot in Game 2 of the NBA Finals, tying the series against the Raptors. Unfortunately, though, the Raptors would get the Warriors in 6, and Iguodala did put up 22 points, but it was a loss. And with Durant and Klay Thompson both hurt due to major injuries, the Warriors fell flat. So anyway, Golden State, just days after the final, would trade Iguodala to Memphis, for Julian Washburn. Golden State needed a replacement for Klay Thompson while he recovered from his injury and took the year. And the team freed up, and that trade made sure that the salary cap space was there for them to acquire D'Angelo Russell in a sign-and trade with Brooklyn for Kevin Durant, who wanted to sign with the Nets. Golden State said they would retire Iguodala's number 9. I don't know if that was a good idea, but anyway, the Grizzlies actually kept him on their opening day roster instead of buying him out. Well, anyway, he didn't play a game for Memphis. He would be traded to Miami in a 3-team trade, with Jay Crowder also being a key part of it. He was signed a 2-year, $30 million extension with Miami, and he got to his 6th straight final, as Miami did lose to the Lakers, but that was the COVID final, if you will. He was at a bench role with Miami, and then he would leave and come back to Golden State, signing a deal in August 2021, but he had back soreness issues. Fortunately, though, despite limited playing time, he did win his 4th NBA title as the Warriors were the 2022 champions. He was signed a 1-year deal in 2022, making him play his final year. And he would retire October 2023. He got to the 2012 Olympics team because of his defensive ability. And Coach K, who was the head coach, said that Iguodala's play reminded him of Scottie Pippen. So anyway, Iguodala has 2 children with his longtime girlfriend, who he married in 2015. He is a Christian, saying that faith gives me balance and all that. He's an avid golfer, he loves to play NBA 2K video games. He's a tech investor and done quite well. And he's a minority owner of a Bay Area professional women's soccer team. And he released a memoir called The Sixth Man, I guess because, he's the guy off the bench. So in 1,231 games, in which he only started 784, well, he was a main starter until 2015. By 2015, he was just basically a bench player. But still, he's got 11.3 points per game in his 1,200 plus games. In the playoffs, he would play 177 games, 9.4 points, 4.4 rebounds. He would be okay for Philly, the 1 season with Denver, and then Golden State, Miami. College, 2 years of Arizona, and that's how everything ends for Andre Iguodala. Anyhow, I'm Jeff. I'm gonna do